Coin dropped 10% in one day. One day dropped below an origin line, which means, so this origin line that I'm pointing to, that is macro stuff. That means not only are the bears in control on the short-term time frame by a mile, but from a midterm and long-term standpoint, the tides have returned back to the bears. This origin line's a big deal. And likely, if price can spike, and we're going to zoom into this during this portion of the live stream, and what the ramifications of this going back below this line are, and the history of going back below an origin line after you go below it, failure pattern, then back below it. It's usually seals the deal on farther, like a lot farther down price action. So we're going to go over that, and then we will also try to connect that to the S&P 500 because Bitcoin's moving along with it. So let's dive our butts in here and go get some darn Bitcoin. Here we go. I have on not enough stuff. Here we go. I'm going to zoom into the 15-minute chart. The last 4-hour candle of the day has already begun. The tomorrow's candle begins here, and I am missing a box. There it is. Perfect. So again, this box that I have labeled down here at the very bottom, labeled 20,054 and 19,560. If price goes below here, this bottom one, and uses it as resistance, that could mean another leg of capitulation. I don't see that happening tonight or, before Wednesday, market open. So throughout the next 14, 15 hours, I think we're pretty safe of that not happening. And if price does go below 19,560, I bet it would come back up to try to then get rejected by the origin line or the top of this box. So between tonight through, let me put on these EMAs. There we go, daily 10. Where's my daily 21? So from the time I'm recording this and doing the live stream through when Americans are waking up tomorrow, and midday for Europeans, early evening for folks farther east, or late evening for Australians, I don't see this breaking below here. Therefore, I think the top end, or for the next 14, 15 hours before market opens Wednesday, traditional finance United States markets open 9:30 a.m. New York time, I don't think price will navigate too far above here or too far below here. Okay, that target and that target throughout the night. If this is surpassed before market open, I bet it comes back closer to the middle point, which is this origin line labeled here, this price action right there. If overnight price scoops below here, I would assume that before market open, it'll also revert back to this middle area or the origin line. Is that making sense? But the key here is, though, if that were to happen, if it scoops down, comes back up, the second time it goes below this line, I would fully expect strong move down. All right. Now let's connect this to the stock market, because Bitcoin is essentially following us. So that's your micro timeframes. We'll go over other timeframes real quick on Bitcoin. All right. Very simple higher low or lower low structure. If the chart, so you can type, see how it says US 500, enter on TradingView. It'll take you to, it's like Pepperstone. See how it says Pepperstone up near me up here? It's essentially like a futures chart, and it runs 23 hours, 5 days a week. But it's my favorite traditional market chart. Bitcoin, when the traditional finance algos are dictating Bitcoin price, which it does like 90% of the time, this is a great guide for Bitcoin. So if you see this low taken out, and I'm on the 15-minute chart, this is from today, that is a warning sign that if Bitcoin can't hold that bottom of the box as this lower low is passed, even on small candles tomorrow, So if you see Bitcoin going below that bottom box at 19,560 as this is crossed, you could have a very aggressive move down. Maybe not another 10% day down, but it could get, I mean, hell, it could. It could get really aggressive. But on this lower low that I'll be looking at tomorrow during market open, if Bitcoin seems to be holding strong or is at the top of that box that I showed you, I think was right at 20,050 or so, then I wouldn't be so concerned of a capitulation event. So it depends on where Bitcoin is in that box when this local low is taken out. So you might want to go to this chart and set an alert, because when it goes ding, your alert for US 500 has gone off. You might want to go look at where Bitcoin is. It could cause, so depending on where it is, it could be a drastically different result. All right. If Bitcoin's holding fairly strong as this is hit, because sometimes Bitcoin outperforms the stock market. If that's happening in the short-term timeframes, and Bitcoin finds itself, it's gotten rejected from here, that low on the stock market is taken out when Bitcoin's here. Well, I would say that low taken on the stock market would only bring Bitcoin down here, and it's got a good chance to bounce. Or it would have a good chance to go under here and then make a higher low and then get retest up here. But if Bitcoin is underperforming or evenly performing the stock market when that happens, and it's like, it's already down here, all right, when that traditional finance market chart is making new lows, that would be dangerous. If Bitcoin's right freaking here at that moment, you're looking for some really, really nasty price action. All right. And that should get you through the next 24 hours, through end of day tomorrow. All right. Depending on where Bitcoin is. If Bitcoin's up here when that low is taken out, then this would be your target, or slightly lower. Look for a retest up higher. If Bitcoin's down here because it's been underperforming as that low is hit, watch out. That's how I would judge that. And also take a note that Bitcoin has made 3 local. So this is versus Ethereum. The Ethereum merge is still really affecting Bitcoin price big time. And let me show it to you. Like this is, you'll be able to see it very clearly. Watch. So I will mark this off at around the daily 21 EMA on Bitcoin. So this is all from today. I'm on a very small chart, 15-minute time frame, right? But this will have impact over the next 48 hours until the merge is finally done. Then it's going to be so much freaking easier to trade. Hopefully. That's the plan anyway. So right as this daily 21 EMA was hit on Bitcoin, I will mark that off here. That was roughly at 10:45 a.m. New York. All right. Let me make this a little bit bolder. Something like there. At that area. So 10:45. Let me go to Ethereum. The same thing. And it's essentially held even, right? So technically lower lows, but look how much lower. So the wick down was here. 0.25% and 0.18%. So 0.1, so essentially equal lows, right? Since that time. But what has Bitcoin done since at the exact moment it hit the daily 21 EMA? It's made aggressively lower lows. Look. So from that exact point, Ethereum has only gone down 0.1%. Bitcoin has gone down another 4.7%. Are you seeing this? That's significant. I did not expect that with the merge date so close, but people are still, so what this means is big money is still expecting, or at least speculating the play, or speculating that others are speculating that they're going to buy into this news. And so with that, with what I just showed you, that means 2 things are going to be drastically obvious on 2 different charts. Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart is on the short-term time frames aggressively moving up, and Bitcoin dominance should be aggressively going down based off what I just showed you from this yellow line, right? And this I did not expect this to happen this close to the merge date, but it's still happening, and shame on me. The news, or the time to sell into the event hasn't technically happened. So maybe I should have seen this coming. But remember those 2 charts I just said. Bitcoin dominance should be going down, and Ethereum versus Bitcoin should be going up on short-term timeframes, and aggressively so. So this is Bitcoin dominance. Does that look like short-term time frame since that time it's been going down? Yes. There you go. And the exact time it took out this wick low and really started moving down more aggressively was at exactly 10:45 when it took out this low. 10:45 when Bitcoin hit the daily 21. It just gave up. And so Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Oh, that's ADA. I was off by one. Short-term time frames. Guess what time it was when it printed its first green candle in a series of green candles. Guess what time that is? 10:45. So are you seeing how it's all connected? People are still buying up Ethereum way more aggressively than Bitcoin, and it's really suppressing Bitcoin price. Bitcoin's being a dog right now. And it's going to be really interesting to see. Bitcoin had a 10% down day and it had a 10% up day just a couple days ago. This is really volatile stuff. I mean, the crypto market is acting really funky around this merge. It's possible that the ripple effects, so imagine the merge and all of its effects are a rock, and it's already been dropped in the pond, right? No. Let's say the date that it's redone, so tomorrow or the 15th or whenever. Let's say it's finally completed the merge. That's when the rock drops in the pond. It's possible that just like a pond dropping a rock in there, you do get ripple effect for some time. So it might not be that crypto becomes more normal again instantly. It might have a ripple effect. I'm not for sure because this type of stuff has never happened before. This merge has had like 5 years or 4 years of anticipation. So it could have an effect. And I don't anticipate the charts necessarily instantly go back to normal and instantly Ethereum sells off and instantly Bitcoin starts outperforming, like Ethereum versus Bitcoin starts dropping. I don't really know. But it's something to pay attention to. And you'll be able to see it specifically using the Bitcoin dominance chart, which is primarily affected by Ethereum because all the alts will then follow Ethereum, right? And they all, like a lot of them, the big players will outperform Bitcoin, making Bitcoin dominance go down. So so as we're approaching the merge date, what is really important for Bitcoin analysis and trading Bitcoin, if that's what you're doing, is trying to view the effects of this merge. And on the day after it happens, how is the Bitcoin dominance chart reacting? And how is Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart reacting? And they're going to move, they will move inverse of each other exactly. If Ethereum goes up versus Bitcoin on the ETH versus BTC pairing, then Bitcoin dominance will continue going down aggressively and potentially make new lows. But if you see Ethereum versus Bitcoin pairing go down, then Bitcoin dominance will really take off, and your altcoins are going to suffer if Bitcoin continues going down. So here's putting all this together. Around the merge date, if Bitcoin dominance starts really rocketing up, that can happen independent of price of crypto all going up or price of crypto all going down, right? It's almost like volatility. Volatility is monodirectional to price. You can have a spike in volatility if everything goes up, and you can have a spike of volatility going up if all price is going down, just like today. Huge spike up in volatility, but all price went down. Same thing for Bitcoin dominance. So here's why this is really important. If Bitcoin dominance starts going up as crypto and Bitcoin itself goes down, all right, then your alts are going to get their asses kicked hard. But if you see that Bitcoin dominance chart continue to go down, and let's say all of crypto is still going down, then the effects of how badly alts will go down will be mild, and Bitcoin might underperform a lot of them. Am I saying this clearly? I know I said it right, but hopefully I'm explaining it in a way that makes sense. So the effect of Bitcoin dominance, it really is going to depend on is crypto going up or down And the effects of Bitcoin dominance going up will be, different in those regards. Okay, there's a different interpretation, but you need to pay attention to that chart, particularly to the merge day, because I'm telling you, it's making crypto a little funky right now. If you're paying real close attention to the small term timeframes, like I just showed you, the 1045 line, I just showed you very as clear as day. Like that was the moment, like Ethereum started gaining on Bitcoin. It just switched for I don't know why, and I didn't expect it. And my longs on Ethereum worked for a counter trend trade, but my longs on Bitcoin got messed up. Got stopped out immediately, right? Got out of those trades immediately because it kept making lower lows. And so those are the things. So let's go back over these key levels one more time to get you through the next, 12, 14 hours. Here are all the things that I would pay attention to. If price goes up tonight, it's either price has a strong chance of hitting its head on the daily 21 or the daily 10, roughly in this zone. Let me put it just in the middle, just shy of 21K. It will be hard for Bitcoin to get above 21K tonight through the next 12, 14 hours. Okay, because the daily 10's there and the daily 21, you're getting ready to have a bearish cross. When orange goes below yellow, it doesn't immediately make price go down, but woof, it can have a pretty serious effect. You also have resistance at the origin line. But if price in the small term can get above this origin line and use it as support, that does increase the chance that Bitcoin might try over the daily 10, maybe over 21,000. So the only real chance that I think Bitcoin has in the next short-term time frame to get over 21K is if it can base off this origin line. Basing off of here does not give you permission to fly above the daily 10 and daily 21 together. But if you could base on the origin line, I think you could then potentially spike up to 21.3. So 21.3 and change, 21.320 roughly to this. But I don't see that being hit in the next 16 to 24 hours until the origin line is used as support, similar to my yesterday's video. I said price can't go up unless the daily 10 or the weekly 10, the red line, is used as support in multiple 5-minute candles. And then the 5-minute candles just tinkered with it for like 16 hours. It was crazy. I didn't expect quite that long, but I was thinking 4 to 6 or something. 4 to 6 hours, which is a lot of 5-minute candles. Similar thing. I don't think there's permission to touch up here unless you see the origin line being used as support on small candles. Am I making sense? If Bitcoin just takes a hike up immediately, so it just says, let's go, well, it's going to pull back from this area, because it doesn't have permission to fly through them because it did not use this as support. And hopefully this gets you through the next day into market open. And then after market open, honestly, just whenever Bitcoin goes back below this origin line, it can spell some really nasty stuff. As the daily 21 and daily 10 cross below this origin line, they could make price really catapult. And just looking in the past, origin lines with the daily 21 going below, it's scary. Let's take a quick look, and then I'll end the Bitcoin segment of this. It can mean some serious business. Okay, so origin lines. I'm going to keep on only the daily 21 and origin lines. Watch this. So let's go back. I thought I had these locked. Yeah, let's just go back to the 69K top in November. This is November 69K top. Here's one origin line with the yellow. So this origin line is the orange. Okay, it goes way back in time, right? If I zoom out, you see how much price interaction it has over the years, over the decade, decade plus. Look, this is where 2015, 2016, the entire bull rally based off of. It's the same line, right? That's the origin line that I'm getting ready to zoom in from the 69K top. And I'm going to show you how the daily 21 squeezed price under it and how big of a deal this is. All right. Let me go to I think the 4-hour chart can show us a little bit better. So I'm on the 4-hour chart, but I'm still going to have on the daily 21 EMA. All right, so here's the 69K top right here. Okay, so that origin line, and I just zoomed out to show you. Look, when this yellow line squeezed price below this origin line, look what happened. That's a big ass drop. Fuck. That's that's a really big one. I don't know if that would happen again. But still, the next origin line down. Look what got it. It wasn't as perfect, but price was holding on to the origin line, and look, right when this crossed, look. On the exact moment it crossed, right there on this tick, boom. Let me make that's the exact moment that this accelerated down. Look, it's on the exact, zoom out. Boom. That's when the move started. You see that? All right, let's do another one. So during this large, I guess, bear market rally type of deal that lasted almost 100 days, Bitcoin just played between two origin lines. It was a big range. This was tough to trade. But how did the finale go down? Bitcoin trying to hold on to an origin line, trying to hold on. This crossed and tried one more time, but the yellow line had already, see this origin line here? But it's in general sense, you get squeezed out of this zone. Where's my freaking triangle tool? Here we go. Look, like right here, like a... You see that? So the yellow line going below this origin line squeezes price down. Here, price decided to hold on for a little bit longer, 9 days, but that's not very typical. It usually just accelerates right away. Okay, here's another one. Trying to hold on to the origin line, flirting with the 21. Again, it didn't get a perfect squeeze, because here, if it were a perfect squeeze, the acceleration to the downside would have been more similar to the first two times, and it would have happened in this like triangle area here. So price did not accelerate down there. It tried to hold on even longer, right? And then accelerate down after yellow crossed the origin line. All right. And look how big of a move that is. I mean, it gets some serious moves. That's 40%. Gee whiz. All right. So look what's happening here. Price. So just look at this. Price is trying to hold on to an origin line. One more big spike up, which is a little bit different than the last one. So as Bitcoin tries to come back up, what do you think is going to happen? This yellow line mixed with the origin line are really going to stop price, and you're going to form some form of black triangle like this with the yellow daily 21 right here. And it's possible Bitcoin tries to go sideways most of the month of September, goes like this, boom, goes like this. But in the end, it's probably going to make new lows, folks. Until something macro changes, that's probably what's going to happen again. So, even if it holds on a little bit longer, that would be late. That'd be September 21st. I don't see Bitcoin holding on much longer than late September. And guess what happens on September 20th or 21st? I think it's the exact day. It's the next FOMC meeting when the Fed, the US Fed might raise rates by a whole 100 points instead of 75. Actually, I'm going to leave this on my freaking chart. That might be exactly what happens. Maybe. It's a very good option. So Bitcoin could hold on and try to interact with the daily 21 as it's sloping down with this origin line here and give up at the FOMC and really accelerate. So that's your midterm price analysis. Daily 21 and this origin line are your best freaking friends. I think I just proved it to you. Like if you're sitting there not, agreeing that these are your two main tools for a midterm time frame, I'd suggest rewinding this portion and looking at what I just showed. These are your best friends. Highly probable scenario of lower lows incoming. So and mixed with the fact that my line A on NASDAQ futures chart has not been hit, and Bitcoin cannot have found a bottom until that's it, and it's 16% away. And Bitcoin moves if NASDAQ goes down 60%, Bitcoin goes down 30+. perhaps even 40. A big move potentially ahead throughout the next 60 days or so. So be careful. Don't get caught up in the double bottom theory, because it's about ready to be proven wrong with a high probability. Hopefully I just showed you that hopefully I'll flip you back to reality and what's more probable. So that's your Bitcoin portion.